Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience as a Navy girlfriend, Bootcamp edition. So just a little background of me and my boyfriend. His name is Henry to start with, and we've been together for a year and 3 months now. He actually left Bootcamp in our 1-year anniversary, so that was really sad. But yeah, I just thought I would give you guys a little kind of like, not I guess tips, but just kind of like my experience and how it went down, and if you're like your boyfriend is barely going through or girlfriend is barely going through, so you can kind of get like an insight of how it goes. Because I know for me, I had my friend Serena, who her husband went into boot camp like a week before me, and she was like a lot of help, just kind of like talking to someone and like the fact that they understand how you feel. So I just thought this video might help a lot of people, or just, you know, if you don't have a boyfriend in boot camp or anything, or military, just so you know like what we go through, you know? Say hi.
Hey.
I'm talking about boot camp. Anyways, back to the point. I don't really know how to like talk about this because it was like, I don't know, it was just an experience. I wasn't really like, okay, this is the first thing that happened, you know? But just as a military girlfriend in boot camp, I would say the first thing that you need to have is definitely patience. Just because, you know, it's kind of new to you and to your boyfriend, so you don't really know like when you're gonna get the first letters. You don't really know when you're gonna know where he's stationed. You don't really know like anything really, and things change as like he goes in boot camp, because they have to pass certain tests, and like thankfully my boyfriend passed all the tests, so he didn't have to like retake anything if he wasn't set back. But I know a lot of guys or girls are set back because they don't pass a certain test. I would just say patience is really important, like not to be like, I want to see him already, or like, you know, get like frustrated, because you'll only be hurting yourself, and like you can't make time go by faster. So just be patient, you know, just come to the conclusion that it's gonna take time, and like take this time to like build yourself up. Or like that's what I did. I took this time that he was apart, because obviously a boyfriend, I mean, to me, he's like a big distraction in a good way, you know. But obviously I have to make time for him as I make time for school and like my dance team, like all those things. So when he wasn't here, I got time to just work on myself and to better myself, because I knew he was going to be working out a lot. So I started working out, or trying to work out, so that I will also be better and like kind of ready when he comes back. I guess my second point would be take this time to focus on yourself. I'm sorry I keep looking that way. I don't know why. I just like whenever I talk, I'm like, huh. But yeah, just take this time to focus on yourself, do things you've been wanting to do, and maybe like things your boyfriend doesn't enjoy doing, like, I don't know, binge watching like Gossip Girl or something. Like, I know my boyfriend wouldn't like that. So sorry, that was my mom. I texted her I was doing a YouTube video, but I guess she didn't get the memo. My third point would be to make sure you communicate with your boyfriend's parents. I got interrupted by my dog and my mom again. I forgot what I was saying. Yes, communicate with the parents, because they are their parents, so they get all the information mailed to them. So they are like your first kind of like source of information. And also, I mean, they're also going through the same thing that you're going. Like, yeah, it's your boyfriend, and I know that you love them, but it's their kid, you know, so they're obviously like suffering. Like, it's their child that just left to boot camp. Just communicate with them to stay informed, and also to kind of like let them know, you know, if they need anything, that you're there for them, because it's their child, you know, they made your boyfriend, so you should be thankful for them. Let's move on to number 4, which is kind of like focusing on yourself, but number 4 is staying busy. So definitely focus on yourself, but I feel like that's different. Like, focusing on yourself is like bettering yourself, but staying busy is like so important. Like, make sure, like for me, I already have a busy life. Like I've mentioned in a couple videos, but if you haven't watched them, I'm in the dance team, and then I like volunteer at my church, and I used to work before like coronavirus, and then also I had like full-time school, so I was already really busy. So hanging out with my boyfriend was like, I had to make time for it. But if you are not, or even if you are busy, just, I would say even like in your alone times, because when you're busy, you kind of like forget about it, or like you kind of forget about them for a second, only because you're doing things, you know. But in your alone time, also hang out with friends, stay like stay connected with people, definitely, and like do things. Like me, like serving at church really helped me, and like for me, like I'm a Christian, so growing in this time apart, like in my alone time, growing with God was like also really like important for me. And it was like a thing that I could do also to pass the time, like more prayer, more reading the Bible and things like that. So yeah, just like stay busy in whatever it is, like binge watch a show, or like go swimming, go work out, go hang out with your girls, like whatever. Just stay busy and don't let yourself like stay alone and start thinking about like him and like how you miss him and things like that, because then you'll get really sad. So just stay busy, girl. Number 5, so like I was saying, stay busy and like be with your friends. Also like build a community around you, like a supportive community. Like for my dance team, I know I could like count on them, because I know I could tell them, like I could talk about my boyfriend all the time and they would just be like listening to me. Or like in Valentine's Day, they were all like, we love you, blah blah, and like that helps, you know. And then also obviously my parents were a huge help, because my mom would go visit me, and like she would go stay over the weekends with me, so that will make me stay just distracted from thinking about him. Well, one of my friends, which is I would say really important, like I mentioned, Serena, her husband went to boot camp a week before mine. Her husband, my boyfriend, if you have someone that is actually going through it also, that is really important, because they kind of understand you like on another level, you know, because they miss their boyfriends how you miss yours, and you can kind of just talk about it all day and like they won't get tired of hearing it, because they're kind of going through the same thing, so you get to relate, you know. So that's also really important. I mean, if you don't have anyone, I will link my Instagram and my Twitter down below, so if you want to contact me about your experience, or if you want to like ask certain questions, you can. Number 6, I believe, would be to only send positive things on the mail. So you don't get to talk to them, you don't get their mail address until like 2 weeks after they're in there, I believe. I don't really remember, but it was like a week or two. It felt like forever though. It felt like a really long time, because you have like no contact with them. But yeah, after you get their mail, their actual like address where you can send them stuff, they're kind of like locked away from like the world. They don't have their phones. They're just like in their own little community. So it's very important that everything that you tell them, you just keep all positive things, because like if you do negative, they can't really do anything about it. So it's just gonna like make them sad, and if they were already sad, it's gonna make them like a lot like depressed or something. So just like put positive things, tell them how much you miss them, how much you love them. Like for me, I used to send Henry like things that I wanted to do with him once he got out. Like I would just make like little dates, and I would be like, I want us to go to the Pearl and like have a coffee and spend the day there, and then go eat Chinese and then watch a movie, or like whatever. Just something that like they have to look forward to, because they're very like drained mentally in boot camp. So it's just important to keep them like alive and connected to you in a way, and to what's going on. With the updates, I try to update my boyfriend by sending him text messages every single day, but it turns out he never got them. So I thought originally it was a really cute idea or whatever, but he never actually got the text messages. So I would say don't do that. Do send him snaps though. I sent him like a bunch of snaps of what was going on, and I know I think he liked them. I hope he liked them. He screenshotted them. So send him snaps. And tweets. Oh, definitely. I sent him so many tweets of like what was going on, because obviously he was gone forever. So I sent him tweets like updating him what was like happening, or like trends that were going on, or just things I liked, like I like this shirt, like buy for me, whatever. Like, you know, I just sent him a bunch of tweets to keep him up to date. And I know he really liked that, because whenever he got back, he was kind of like caught up with all the Twitter drama and like all like everything that's going on around the world. Also, a little tip is to send, I mean, I feel like it's common sense, but you might not know, send in one envelope. Just send like a lot of letters in one envelope, because I know like I had to buy stamps, and then I had to go like put it in the mail and like everything, so it's like a big process. So I would just take the week to write him letters of like what happened to me during the week, and then I would put it in all of those letters in one envelope, and then I would mail them. Make sure when you do mail it though that it meets the weight requirement, because they have to weight a certain amount. Also with their letters, Serena showed me this app that is called Sandboxx, and it's this one right here. So it's really cool, because through that app you can send them letters like virtually. I would say also send them written letters, because I know like my boyfriend, for example, he really liked written letters, because it's kind of like more personal. But through that app is just a lot easier, and they get the letters a lot faster. So if you don't have that app, I would strongly recommend. It is more expensive, but they get mailed a lot faster, and you can add pictures there. So I would say also adding pictures is a huge thing. I know my boyfriend personally really liked when I would send pictures of me, or like me and my family, or like whatever, for him just to see you. You know, he hasn't seen you in so long, and like you have your phone with you, and you can like go back and see a picture of him when you miss him. but he doesn't. So I would say sending pictures helps him out a lot. Also, another tip that I would give, like for me, I'm such a big planner, and for me it was really helpful to like write down how many days he was gone to see how many days I had left. But let's say he was gone for 7 weeks. At first I started counting down to like those 7 weeks, and it was like forever. Like a week would go by so slow. So I would say cutting those times to count down, because I'm pretty sure even if you're not a planner, you're gonna want to count down to when your boyfriend or girlfriend comes back. So I would say breaking them down in like sections. Like, okay, in 1 week I get a letter. Look forward to that week. And then like in 2 weeks I get a phone call. So look forward to that phone call. I would say don't look forward to only graduation, because then it's going to go down really, really slow. So for graduation, I actually don't have any recommendations. I don't know how to say it. I don't have anything to say, because for my boyfriend, unfortunately, coronavirus started happening when thankfully he got to graduate, but he didn't get to have a ceremony, and I didn't get to go see him. So I'm not sure like what you can take and what you can't, but what I do know though is that they have a list. They can only take 4 people. Hopefully you get to go to the graduation, and I would say if you don't get to go, like if they do choose like their grandparents and their parents to go instead, I would say don't get hurt, because yeah, I know that it hurts. Like I want to go, it's such a special thing, but also I would say keep in mind that their parents and like their grandparents or their aunts or whoever they chose, so it's like someone that's really important to them, and at the end of the day this is about them. You know, you're kind of like, you chose to stay for them, which is like really good, and it's like a strong thing to do, but also, you know, it's a once in a lifetime thing. So hopefully he has space to choose you, and if not, I would just say don't get mad, don't get sad. He still loves you. He's just has a lot of people he cares about, you know? I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, and leave down in the comments if you have any experiences yourself with your boyfriend or girlfriend that have gone to boot camp. And also, like I said, I'm going to link my Instagram and Twitter down below, so if you guys want to DM me with any questions, you can. And yeah, I just hope you enjoyed. Bye! Yeah, so obviously I'm a girlfriend that... What?